Look at the monsters we've become. 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 Look at the monsters we've become.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another stream. This one is South Alabama versus the University of Texas and Dallas. GG, go next. We already have some picks going out here. We know South Alabama has their comp already set up and ready to go. We have Davis or USA Speed on Jet, Project on Chamber, Mando on Astra, Karomi on KJ, and then Rand playing his KO. Looks like GG Go Next will prefer an Omen over an Astra, which, to be completely honest, we see a lot more Omen and Brim controllers more often than we do Astras nowadays after the Astra nerf. But South Alabama still somehow makes it work. And I mean, Mando is absolutely excellent on that Astra, so I'm excited to see how he does today. Looks like they're gonna go with a Reyna. I haven't seen a Reyna in competitive play in a minute, actually. Reyna's kind of a very, very difficult pick in competitive play because, you know, that utility usage just isn't as strong as some of the other duelists that you'll typically get. Like a Raze or a Jet, they have just more useful utility to get onto those sites. But if you have a cracked Reyna player, they can surely make a huge impact. Looks like they'll choose a Sova as their initiator. Then you get a second duelist with that Jet. So we got the double duelist comp versus a double sentinel comp. I think this will be an interesting game. I think what I'm most interested by is South Alabama starting off on their strong attacking side we've seen from previous games that they played that South Alabama's attacking, especially on the scent and bind, is just explosive, very definite, I guess would be the word that I would use. Whenever they choose a site to go to, they typically hit both avenues very, very strong. They have good timing on both sides, and they rarely rotate unless they're really hit with a strong site hold. It looks like they're going to be choosing to go A this first round. Some split towards that cap position, some going through that A main. I'm going to go ahead and anticipate that Karomi puts his turret up to clear that A main hallway, while the rest of the team pushes very strongly on Cat and kind of taking those battles mid where they can. And hopefully Reyna can get a pick in that mid, or else they're going to be stuck in a bad situation with 4 South Alabama players rushing at them. We'll see how that plays out. Got Jet for GG Go Next on a pretty aggressive hold, and Reyna couldn't get that pick in mid I was talking about, and just faced with 4 South Alabama players. Speed able to get the pick on the Jet, holding in main, leaving only Omen on site to face all 5 players on South Alabama. Able to get that pick onto Speed, but traded out shortly by Rand, holding from A main. We now have Sova and Heaven trying to get a pick off, able to get Rand. We still have 2 players alive for South Alabama and 2 players for the retake on GG Go Next. Both South Alabama players are kind of stuck in this Jin position. KJ's able to rotate out, Sova unable to get the pick. Chamber's trying to play on site here. Oh, just narrowly missing that shock dart.
Last player standing.
Project able to get the kill on Sage. But Sova's able to get the trade. And it's gotta peek it. Karomi able to win his ones with a nice one tap with his D, and we got the first round, pistol round for South Alabama. That was a very close round, actually. It went down to the 1v1. But in the end, South Alabama takes away that pistol round, and it looks like they'll be buying up.
Should I play some stars in this
Maybe entirely. I think Project might have bought all the bullets to his chamber dig and just running with that for the second round, but the rest of the team choosing to go with those Spectres, and Tyler... Well, no, actually, he'll go with the Spectre too instead of a Bulldog. We have Sage buying up with a Bucky here, but the rest of the team for UTGG Go Next do appear to be saving as expected. I wonder if he'll make this Bucky worth it. And I mean, that's what I mean with South Alabama. It's just absolutely explosive. Once they commit to a site, all 5 players are rushing out at defenders all at the exact same time. And just like that, just a couple seconds into the round, South Alabama is planting and set up ready to defend their position. Jet's trying to decide whether or not to go through this market here, but Speed will make that decision for him and quickly close him out. Well, it's a 1v5 situation for 16 HP Omen here, and he's suppressed. Mando able to get a quick little spray through smoke and close out the second round for South Alabama. So it doesn't look like Sage's Bucky buy quite went into her favor, but it looks like they'll be buying a Bucky again this time, while the rest of their team is able to full buy. South Alabama preferring to go towards that save. Project still having most of the bullets in his chamber dig and able to carry on that Bucky from Sage of last round. So it looks like South Alabama is bonusing here, while UTGG Go Next is full buying. And it looks like they're trying to hit this B side again. It's like a 5-man push. No one's really trying to challenge that mid position. Now, this is going to be a very hard site take for South Alabama because you have 3 players focused on this B side. Absolutely nobody on A. But it is their bonus. Looks like South Alabama's players are slowly shifting towards this mid position, able to get the pick on the Omen, holding mid. And the Reyna, goodness. Amazing shot with the chamber dig by Project. And A is completely open for South Alabama on this bonus. Already incredible in a 4v2 situation against Vandals. Bomb is going down, and it looks like Jet and Sova are going to choose to retake from A Heaven here. A KO knife revealing to South Alabama where the positions of UTGG's players are. Sova able to creep up here, hopefully catch a player or two off
Player
guard.
standing.
Commando just ready to hear for it. And USA Rand able to make that closing pick on the jet to secure another round for South Alabama. So this is a round we normally see the bonusing players lose, but South Alabama was able to coordinate very, very well. And I mean, their explosive style and attacking half is just really, really hard to combat unless you're able to accurately stack a site against them and really get those early picks when South Alabama is initially exploding. So I think this Sova on B side is really, really crucial. Maybe getting an Ares or an Odin like we saw last round to really mow down those players quickly. What's a little unusual for South Alabama here is we see them going for a default. Being able to get the initial pick on the jet. Maybe create some more space on the A site. Project able to get a pick on the Reyna with an Odin in mid. Looks like UTGG is a little confused about where South Alabama plans to execute here. They're leaving a player on A, 2 players towards that, or 2 players on A and 1 player on this B site. But Sage about to meet all 5 players, just unable to do anything against Project when he's hitting those chamber deegs. Looks like Omen and Sova are trying to retake from A here, but Speed able to hit 2 incredible op shots. That's another round towards South Alabama. So we look at the scoreline here. We have Speed going 7-2-1 with an op on attacking side. I mean, he's making the most out of it. And if we look at the economy for UTGG Go Next, it's just not great. I mean, you have 1 player able to get a Phantom and half shields, but there's not a single player on GG Go Next that is able to full buy with full shields. So instead we see this kind of segmented half buy, some players able to buy again for next round, some players kind of full buying. We have no protection in mid here, which is sad for Speed holding with an op, but maybe he'll be peeked by this opposing jet shortly. Looks like UTD GG Go Next is appropriately stacking the A site where South Alabama is trying to initiate. Able to get an initial pick from one of South Alabama's players. South Alabama is committing here. Omen getting 2, almost 3 incredible picks on South Alabama. Now Speed in a 1v4 situation with the judge, able to get 1 pick, but not able to get all 4 of them. That's an amazing round by UTD GG Go Next. It's a long name for a team. I'm trying to think about what acronym to go with, but UTD should work just fine for now. And that's a first round for UTD as well, but I mean an incredible one. I think Omen made a huge difference there, getting those initial picks on South Alabama's exploding style, but as I talked about earlier, that's really the only way you can shut down South Alabama when they're trying to hit those initiating picks onto site. And it looks like we do have that Sova with an Odin here, able to spray through that B main. Sage Wall not getting shot down immediately, so able to add a little bit extra level protection here, but South Alabama still seems pretty determined to go towards this B site. Sova drone informing them that they're still there. Odin not able to get too much damage. Looks like a couple of South Alabama's players are trying to work their way up mid, but Reyna's able to get I think that was a pick through smoke, actually. Jet's holding a little bit farther back. We have a Reyna ult coming out. A little bit of a standstill here as they try and make some room up cap, but they're about to run into this ulted Reyna. Able to pick her off quickly though. And now all 3 players of UTD GG Go Next rotating towards this A site. But Kuromi's able to get that bomb down. Omen Blind coming out from heaven. And Shock Dart's coming out to hit default. But South Alabama is already set up and ready to go. It's going to be a very hard retake for this Sova with nothing but an Odin. But we'll see what he can do with it. He's kind of sitting here waiting for someone to peek him. He's able to see the top of the head of Mando.
Last player standing.
Rand able to spray upwards through hell to get that pick onto the Sova. That's another amazing round for South Alabama. Kind of a slower round than what we usually see, but I mean, those retakes are really, really hard. Sova with an Odin or an Ares is great to hold down that B site, but retaking A with one is just not as ideal. It looks as though UTD, GG Go Next is not really changing their approach towards site holds very much here. They're still walling that B main, still having Sova and Sage hold down that B site. Speed able to get that initial entry pick. Hopefully he clears his corner for the Sage, and he does. Speed able to get an incredible spray through smoke onto Jet 2. Wonder if he'll go for his ace here. And Omen and Reyna both kind of stuck in the CT position. A little bit hesitant to retake this, but playing it together, being able to play off of each other a little bit more smartly.
Cover going out.
I mean, South Alabama is just locked down. There's no way you enter the site without hitting a crossfire. KO's knife, although it didn't get anyone, will be able to alert South Alabama that there are players here. But it looks like Reyna and Omen are choosing to save here instead of attempt the retake, which is smart because GG Go Next economy is not the best right now. And you'll need those Vandals and those Phantoms to be able to gain some momentum into the next couple of rounds. That will be another round for South Alabama, but Karomi gets caught in that bomb. Bless him. Look at USA Speed now, going triple positive. 12, 4, and 1. And I mean, Speed's doing an absolutely incredible job here with getting those initial picks, really creating that space onto site, smoking and dashing and checking all of his corners. It's great to see an improvement throughout the year between all of these players. I mean, despite being double Sentinel, South Alabama is doing very, very well in this attacking half, which, I mean, theoretically with 2 Sentinels, your stronger half should be your defending half, but South Alabama's proving that they're just as good with both sides, no matter what. Looks like both Reyna blinds and Sova drone are being used to try and slow down this push, but they're incredible Sova ult. That should be able to knock out Speed here, maybe get a tag on another. Not quite, but South Alabama seems to be repositioning to try and take towards this mid position. They'll run into a Jet on Cat very shortly. Able to get a pick onto Astra and bomb down. South Alabama's down in numbers now. It's a 2v4 situation.
Teleport's ready.
I'm still looking to aim towards this Cat. I think they're gonna run into some issues.
Remaining. Spike down A.
Jet able to get the pick onto Project, and Reyna able to get the pick onto Karomi and grab another round for UTD GG Go Next. I think that was a round where South Alabama kind of hit an initial resistance with that Sova ult, the double blinds, the Sova drone. They really got slowed down and gave UTD an opportunity to get those rotations in quite quickly and show a little bit more resistance than normal. South Alabama really wasn't able to explode. They had to slow themselves down, and they just weren't able to do so quickly enough. Looks like they're showing a little bit of change in their setup. Putting the Sage over on A and putting this wall down. Rand able to get 2 picks on Reyna and Jet. Sova able to trade him out quickly and get out there for free. Sage just absolutely sticking through that KJ ult and getting a reward out of it by taking off speed, but he gets traded out quite quickly, in South Alabama now in a 3v2 situation. Project might get spammed, but he's able to have the movement to avoid those bullets. Looks like we only have one player on site, actually. That Astra and... no players on site now, actually. That smoke of A main might be very useful to players here. Omen able to get an initial pick through smoke, but will he be able to get the second? Looks like he's choosing to save here. Both players for South Alabama might die to bomb. Nope, just Mando. And Kuromi will avoid Omen trying to hold him top mid and save his weapon this time. It was a very close round. South Alabama able to play it safe, you know, play bomb time in that scenario, and once even getting that pick through smoke, Omen just not having the time to defuse bomb. It was interesting though to see Astra or USA Mando playing in that cat mid position and working his way back up to heaven. He could have gotten timing, but ultimately it was completely unexpected, and I don't think UTD would be checking there for someone holding post plant. Looks like we have an op holding mid here. And then a Reyna on cat with only a Sage holding that A site. Going for a more default position here. VALORANT might encounter either Reyna or Jet quite soon. But it doesn't look like they're aggressively holding tiles for him. If I had to guess what's happening here is USA Speed is calling that A side is completely clear. They know that Sage wall is about to break, so they're calling for the rest of their team to rotate over quite quickly. Speed's going to get into an aggressive position to try and get any early rotators. And bomb will go down. I think this is about to be a scenario where Speed gets to eat as long as Reyna doesn't peek from that cat position. Able to get the spray transfer onto the Jet, but not able to get it onto Omen. Omen able to pick off both Mando and Speed, leaving it in a 2v3 situation for UTD. Able to spot Lord Ran there. Lord Ran able to get a pick onto his Sage. And now we see Omen in another clutch scenario. Just barely missing his blind onto Chamber. There's not much he can do in this circumstance, but he will grab op to save for the next round. And it looks like we have another round for South Alabama. We have a 2-8 scoreline right now in favor of South Alabama. I wonder if we'll get the curse 9-3. South Alabama's economy looking very, very healthy right now. Each of the players not only being able to buy for the next round, but also being able to buy for one another. I don't see them running out of money anytime soon. But if we look at UTD, on the other hand, they're really, really struggling for that money. Sage having to go with a Bucky once again. Omen and Reyna able to have a full buy, but Sova having to go for that half buy. Very few players will be able to buy next round if they lose this one. We see an Astra ult coming out for South Alabama, cutting off CT and market completely. Omen able to get an initial pick. 2 picks, actually. Mando's able to trade Sova out. Now they just have to deal with the Omen and backside. Lord Ran able to crossfire, or actually get 2 picks on both Omen and Sage. Now in a 2v2 scenario. He's going to get caught off guard here by the Reyna. But now it's all up to Mando to close out the round.
One enemy remaining.
Able to get 1 pick. You hear your Jet? The Jet misses his op shot. But he makes his second one and able to defuse the bomb in time. Now we have a 3-8 scoreline. It's a little bit closer to that 9-3, but it's up to South Alabama to win the next round. Kind of a sad defeat to see for South Alabama here. They did invest an Astra ult onto that, but UTD was a little bit more focused on playing on site there than we saw in the rest of the rounds, and it really did benefit them. Here it looks like they're kind of reading that South Alabama. They just lost that B site. They have been successful in A, so they're most likely going to hit A site. So they're deciding to stack it with 3 members of UTD on that A site, but it looks like South Alabama's choosing more to do a default leading B side. A bit of reverse psychology there, but hey, they're right, so I can't knock it.
You want to play? Let's play.
Chamber and KO making a lot of noise on that A side, kind of holding those 3 players there. Raiden getting absolutely timing by Speed. Sage just completely not expecting Speed to be that far up in Cat. Now Speed has full control over site, just holding that heaven position. Able to get a pick onto Jet. And Omen through the smoke. Incredible picks by Speed. I believe that was a 4K on his part.
Switching sides.
And we will get that 9-3 scoreline in favor of South Alabama, with Speed going 18-8 and all members of South Alabama's team going positive currently. Really, really strong half to see from a team with 2 Sentinels having a 9-3 scoreline on attacking side. Hopefully they can carry that momentum over into the defending half and show, you know, just how strong Sentinels can be. And it looks like we'll put both Sentinels this round on that B site. They're kind of predicting that UTD is most likely going to go B, that, or they assume that, you know, Davis has been doing good, Speed's really killing it, so he can hold down A all by himself. I really do like this setup that they have on lane, though. Players will initially hit that KJ utility and be slowed by the chamber trip. Looks like Reyna is preferring to lurk towards this A position, but he may get caught off by Speed. Lurking quietly up. But Speed doesn't check Cat. It looks like it'll be up to Mando. Mando not able to get the pick on this Voyager. Voyager being able to create a little bit more space towards that A, but Speed is slowly coming behind these players on B site. Lauren Rand able to detect that players are probably inside tiles and B main, kind of closing them off. Speed able to get that flank pick onto the opposing Jet. Now these players are kind of stuck in this B main position. They try and go lane, forced to take damage in that molly, and now we have 2 low players on UTD. But we do have even numbers here. Voyager able to also get a pick on Speed. But Rand able to trade out. Looks like they're trying to do a little bit more of a coordinated retake here, South Alabama waiting for all their players to be ready to initiate site. They're in a 3v2 situation. Both players in Boathouse here. South Alabama needs to act fast before they run out of time. And Lord Rand able to get 2 picks. I think he got 3 picks this round, actually. We'll close out the round in favor of South Alabama. So Rand is a menace with that frenzy, I'll tell you. I would not be happy to go against him, but it does look like we're getting a technical pause, because it does seem like South Alabama's controller, USA Mando, did DC. At least Project's giving us a little show. Showing us his movement and lack of knife. So just to clarify, players are allowed to get in position here during these technical timeouts, as long as the player that is causing the technical timeout is resolving their issue, which I do believe Mando is attempting to reconnect right now. But if I'm correct here, it looks like they're kind of, even though they're running double duelists, they're not really running double duelists for that enhanced initiation power, it looks like they're preferring their Reyna to actually lurk, which, although controversial, Reyna is a pretty self-sufficient agent. You know, they can entry alone, they can flank quite quickly, and they don't need a healer or an initiator amongst them to be able to blind and be completely self-sufficient. So, I mean, if it works for UTD, it works. But it does appear to generally be an A hit, and hopefully Mando reconnects soon. I will say, I like Mando's skin collection. He does seem to pair things quite well. I like the little, I think it's a Sakura classic with a ramen bowl. I enjoy it. Hopefully we get to see some movement from him soon, though. Mando, come back to us! Oh, it does look like he did reconnect eventually. Yep, and there he is. So it looks like we unpause, and we're ready to get back into this game. So it looks like we have Mando all alone to defend against 4 of UTD's players. Hopefully he's able to make a big enough impact. Able to initially spot out Jet, call to his chamber that he needs some reinforcements. Deciding to play a little bit farther back on site here, a little bit safer. Speed is just holding this arena, not allowing him to pass. It looks like Project is jump peeking from Cat here, trying to see if anyone's working their way up mid. It looks like Speed will encounter Playmaker here soon. Just barely missing that initial pick through the box. Sova droning up, trying to get some space. Looks like the players might try and go Cat here, but Speed holding that Marshall, that's a really scary task to try and accomplish. It does look like UTD's Reyna is about to peek this KJ turret. And Jet is dashing into A site, Mando to get an initial pick. But he's swung by all 3 players, and UTD will get this A site. We're in an even number of players, but not for long. So it looks like South Alabama is about to initiate this retake, but is not expecting this Reyna to come behind them on Cat, able to pick off Project. And that's where a lurking Reyna can be very powerful. I mean, South Alabama is not expecting a player to be so far back. Omen able to get the pick on the Speed. Voyager able to get the pick on the Rand. And now Chromie in a 1v4 situation. This does not look good for South Alabama. This was their bye round. They're supposed to win this one. But UTD just able to get onto site. They very, very slow execution, but gave South Alabama a false sense of security, and they really got caught off guard. Sage dying to that bomb, but 3 of UTD's players able to carry those guns off of those South Alabama players onto the next round. Very, very strong play by UTD. I mean, winning your essentially eco round against a full team of Spectres is not an easy task, but they managed to pull it off. And South Alabama will be in a bit of a bind now when it comes to economy. Karomi will have almost no money from saving last round, but the rest of the team will decide to go ahead and buy for next. And it looks like UTD is definitely more heavily concentrated towards this A position, but it looks like we swapped for our Jet, our Speed on the Cat position instead of in that mid position. Speed just in a very, very hard situation here with only a ghost. Mando able to get sprayed through smoke in heaven. Speed about to get run up on by enemy Jet with a Spectre.
Last player standing.
And Karomi and yet another impossible clutch. Sage able to catch that player out. Karomi hears the player dashing behind him, but Sage is on the other side ready to secure the round for UTD. UTD really showing their strengths on attacking side. I mean, South Alabama definitely can't take a break here. They have to focus up and really, focus on not allowing them to get any more momentum going. It looks like they're deciding to split up their sentinels here. It looks like they're putting Chamber towards that A site, keeping KJ on B and moving Jet back towards that mid position. But it looks like UTD is again going towards this A. I mean, hey, if South Alabama can't defend it properly, might as well keep hitting it till it doesn't work. Very slow Sova Dart coming in. Project TPing out and giving all of A site to UTD. Now it's all up to that retake power. Rand able to take out that Reyna ult, but Moneymaker able to trade out speed, but Manda trades him, but Sova able to get the respective trade. Project cutting down that Sova and leaving Omen in a 1v2 situation. Chamber already on bomb, able to get the pick onto the bomb diffuser, but Gromi's watching his back. Trade him out and defuse that bomb. A little bit of a hectic round, but South Alabama needed that coordinated retake to be able to get back onto site and defuse that bomb in time. So it looks like UTD now knows, okay, they're, showing a fight back towards us on that A site. We might need to try and switch things up and see if their B hold is as strong. Seems like all the rounds that UTD has won on this attacking half so far has been that A site, so they need to find something that works on this B side to really be able to make an impact and carry some momentum. South Alabama only needs 2 more rounds to close out the game, so something has to be changed here and significant enough to win them the game. South Alabama, releasing all spray. You got 4 players hyper-focused on speed here. Playmaker able to get a pick on Karomi with a Vandal and headshot. Project. Like Omen able to get a pick on Project. Even number situation now. Uneven number situation due to the Reyna absolutely mowing it down, and Sova able to get the last 2 picks necessary for another round on UTD. So now UTD has shown that they can both take A site and B site, so there's nowhere that South Alabama can really heavily stack. They just have to change their setup in order to stop giving these rounds away. Each of the rounds that we see going on in this, I would say the past 10 or so rounds have been very, very close. They're getting down to those 1v1s, those 2v1s. Yeah, it's a close game. It's an interesting game. Looks like UTD are a little more heavily weighed towards this A position. They do know that their chamber is one side. Mando being a good teammate and shooting that drone early. Looks like UTD hit that initial resistance and is deciding to transition a little bit more into a default, perhaps. Reyna looking to lurk towards that B position and see if they can make any space over towards mid. I hope they're ready for the 3 players South Alabama has set up in mid. Does look like GG Go Next is preferring to try and commit to this A position, but Asher has more smokes than you can imagine. Just completely delaying any A side push. I mean, we only have 35 seconds left in the round now. Speed able to get an incredible 2 incredible picks in this mid hold here. We have all 3 players of UTD just absolutely terrified to peek the op. But little do they know, rotating back around to this B position. Jet was holding with that op.
10 seconds left.
Might sneak out of smoke here. Missing his last 2 knives. Unfortunate. It's a good attempt regardless. South Alabama able to play that time. UTD is definitely more of a slower play style that we see for South Alabama. South Alabama is very explosive. Either they get on site in the first 30 seconds of the round, or they rotate very, very quickly and explode before the enemy team can readjust and default back. But it looks like UTD prefers a little bit more of a slower pace, trying to get those initial picks on the site and then really hit it when only 1 or 2 players are defending. But South Alabama knows how to play that clock and knows how to really delay those pushes as long as possible, and they can just play time. We have the Reyna lurking towards that B site. Jet trying to create some space in mid. The rest of the team tries to make its way out of A main. Lord Rand. Ulting that Reyna off, but Speed lurking up in that mid position, gaining that space, able to get that quick pick. Speed is in this incredible information gathering spot. Zabroza able to hear all 3 players on this top mid position and potentially get the pick on the res. Mando's able to spray through that smoke. Speed able to get a pick regardless. Now in a 2v4 situation, match point. UTD is not in an ideal position. Rand able to take
Player
Speed's
standing.
spot.
30 seconds
Mando
left.
able to
Down
get the
mid.
trade from top mid, and Omen with an op on attacking side against 4 defenders. Bomb is down. It's a great blind coming out. And a nice shot onto Mando, but Project able to spray through smoke and close out the game for South Alabama, 13-6. Very, very good game. I think it was very, very close, considering just how strong South Alabama is on Ascent. Very, very impressive for UTD, and it was a very good game on both sides. And we'll be back with you shortly for our second game.
Look at the monsters we've become. Look at the monsters we've become.
And welcome back. We're in game 2 now on Bind. South Alabama versus UTD. GG, go next. Looks like South Alabama already has its composition ready to swing out there. It looks like we're going for a double initiator pick instead of a double sentinel pick that we saw last team. We have USA Nerve now instead of Project. Nerve playing Fade. Rand still in that initiator on Sky this time instead of KO, Mando on Viper instead of Astra, Speed on Raze instead of Jet, and Karomi on that KJ, just like last game. On the other side, we still have Playmaker on our Jet. We have KTK Chaos on KJ, Beige Opper still on that Omen, the Honkinator, I guess, what how you say him. Sky, I believe they were on Sage last game. And we have Voyager on Phoenix, still going towards this double duelist composition for UTD, but switching out that
Choose your
Reyna for a
agent.
Phoenix on Bind. It'll be very interesting to see Bind played with no Sages. You know, that Sage wall on A site and the Sage wall elbow on B site is pretty meta I mean, it's not meta, but we see it in a lot of team compositions in the NECC, but looks like we'll have none of it this time. We do have another controller diff here. We have Mando on Viper, and we have BH Opper on Omen. So we have two entirely different styles of controllers here. We do see both teams having a Sky, but it looks like... Yes, we do have the typical setup here for South Alabama. We have KJ on B site. We have Viper on A site. Looking like we're 3-stacking A, leaving Sky and KJ all on their lonesome to deal with the at least 4 players that seem to be rushing towards this hookah position. Wonder if we'll have all 5 players trying to go through hookah. No, it does look like Playmaker will try and make some space up towards this long position. Flash getting that initial information that players are outside of hookah. Rand deciding to fall off a little bit and play towards this into position with KJ leaning towards elbow. Looks like 2 of South Alabama players will already go ahead and rotate to try and fight for this B position. I mean, I also want to briefly talk about the incredible Viper wall by Mando, still cutting off sightline. Speed able to get an initial pick, but Jet able to trade out his teammate. And a KJ down. B side is huge. Voyager able to get a pick on the Rand as well. Nerve trading him out quickly though. Not able to get a second, and now it is Mando in a 1v3 situation against 3 very low UTD players, but still Omen able to get an initial pick and win the pistol round for UTD. Amazing round by Omen, able to get 3 picks onto South Alabama and really secure their pistol round. It does look like UTD is going to be buying up here, while South Alabama chooses to make sure that they have enough economy to get Vandals and Phantoms for their 3rd round. We do see the Honkinator just absolutely loving their Bucky.
I'll find you.
Playmaker just destroying that Fade Eye, but still giving South Alabama's players information that they're probably hitting this site. Just an incredible dink coming off onto Speed. Now at 1 HP, stuck in this hookah position. Playmaker able to close off that kill. Looks like Rand trying to sneak around here to the flank. Karomi about to meet the force of Omen with a Spectre. Able to get the dink off, but not quite enough to kill that player. Rand in a bit of a difficult position here. 5 players with guns against his classic and 18 HP. 8 can get one of their guns down at least. But about to be met with the full force of 4 players with Spectres running at him. And that's another round for the University of Texas and Dallas. We do see, as expected, South Alabama going ahead in full buying here as UTD decides to save, or bonus, excuse me, bonus their guns into the next round, making sure that they can hopefully knock out a couple of South Alabama's guns and still be able to buy for the 4th round. We do see the same setup coming out of South Alabama, KJ and Sky on that B site with 3 players on A, and it looks like UTD is preferring to go towards this B position. Rand able to jump peek a player long. The rest of the 4 players preferring to go through hookah. 2 South Alabama players already quick rotating to help defend this B site. Looks like we're about to see an execute. Speed able to get an initial pick, but quickly traded out by Voyager. Mando just barely missing the pick, but Rand able to pick it up. You know, very low HP, able to get traded out quite quickly. Offer able to get a quick little headbang onto KJ, but now stuck in between Nerve and Karomi. Now at 24 HP, both players on South Alabama will swing him and secure their 3rd round. Still a good round for the University of Texas at Dallas because they were able to get 3 guns off of South Alabama players, and now all players at UTD GG, with the exclusion of the Honkinator, should be able to at least get half shields and Phantoms or Vandals. It does look like KJ and Sky will decide against that, and they'll go with Spectres instead. Not a bad choice. Speed getting that initial information that they are in fact players trying to push this A short. Meanwhile, Rand over on the B side is able to spot out that there is a Jet player on B long. Phoenix will ult towards the shower position. Mando running back at speed, able to get that pick on that Phoenix ult, and Tyler able to get the pick. But it looks like the trades are coming out quite quickly. Currently in number favors of South Alabama, and Nerve just aggressively holding this bomb. He will not see the player, but able to get the pick against the Spectre regardless. Now we have a Phoenix kind of stuck in the shower position, forced to try and take towards U-Haul to grab the bomb. Incredible 2 picks onto Mando and Karomi by Voyager. Looks like he's gonna reposition towards this A short, try and catch Nerve and Lord Rand off guard. Rand's still super aware of the possibility of him being showers, but intermittently checking this short position. Rand with an incredible shot onto Voyager. Just a quick little flick from Rand as usual. And it looks like UTD's economy is starting to struggle now with 2 losses. Able to have at least 2 players with full buy. KTK Chaos deciding to go with that Guardian, but it looks like he's switching off of it. And yes, UTD GG Go Next is deciding to buy for next round here, while South Alabama's full buy. South Alabama really playing for space on B here with both Speed and Rand. Really fighting for this B long. Little did they know, all 5 players of UTD full force running up there. Those sky flashes are almost impossible to avoid. Voyager able to get an initial pick onto Rand, but Speed is out of there, not allowing that second pick to come out.
No charges left.
Incredible jet knives onto Speed. And UTD is just absolutely cleaning up on this B site. And all that is left is Mando with a Spectre against 4 players. And UTD is very, very aware of where Mando's position is. They're just spraying through the smoke trying to hit him. Don't think he'll expect the sky here, but able to get the pick onto them anyways. Spraying till smoke till one of those bullets hit, and looks like Chaos will get that final bullet onto Mando. And UTD GG Godox gets their third round. And now they'll be a little bit more stable in economy, able to grab the guns off of the South Alabama players that did full buy and have some economy to bring them into the next couple of rounds. Meanwhile, South Alabama looking a little behind in their economy. They'll probably adopt the same strategy UTD did last round by deciding to buy for the next round. And hopefully grab a couple guns off of UTD's players.
Joke's over! You're dead!
Speed went for that Raze ult, but just unfortunately looked in the wrong position. Incredible shot by Mando into Voyager, able to take down 2 full buys with nothing but a classic and a Viper Molly. It's not quite enough, as UTD is still going to be able to get onto this A site and plant the bomb in a numbers advantage, leaving only Kuromi and Rand to try and retake. And for Kuromi, all he has is a classic and a dream. However, thanks to Mando, South Alabama was able to get 2 Vandals off of UTD's players and hopefully improve their economy situation a little bit more. Kuromi not expecting BH Opera to be in that corner, and I almost called it hookah. U-Haul. Been able to get his pick and move onwards. We have BH Opera sitting at 8-2. All of UTD's players going positive currently, except for the Honkinator. And South Alabama only having 1 player being positive. It looks like they're losing a little bit of their momentum, but knowing these players, they're probably having a stern talking to and trying to recoup and see what they're doing wrong and really improve their defending half. We know that South Alabama does have a double initiator comp, which is typically stronger for that attacking half. They should still be able to get quite a few rounds. A Viper ult going out onto the B side. It's actually beautiful Viper ult, cutting off both drop down out of hookah and garden entirely. UTD just completely shut down from entering this B site without going through Mando's very, very scary Viper ult. So it does appear that they're gonna try and redirect the bomb towards that A site. Each offer able to get that pick onto Rand by spraying through smoke. South Alabama now hearing that TP noise, knowing at least a couple players are towards that A site. But only 2 South Alabama players ready for this A push. Nerve missing his initial shots, but Speed able to clean up 2 picks, almost 3, but Voyager able to hit the headshot onto Speed and shut him down quite quickly. Like an even numbers situation for UTD versus South Alabama, but BH Op are there to put the odds in their favor quite quickly, as well as get the pick onto Kuromi. Good. This is an entirely different player than what we saw last game. And they will be able to get the pick onto the Honkinator. But will he expect Omen towards this triple position?
Last player standing.
Voyager able to close out that close 1v1 round on the Mando. On both Voyager and BH Opera seem to be entirely different players, if I'm being completely honest. They're playing differently, they're aiming much better. Maybe Bind is just, the map they're more comfortable on. BH Opera is going to stick true to his name, and it looks like he will be buying that operator. It looks like South Alabama's economy is struggling a little bit here. They're losing some rounds. They're trying to talk about, what might be going wrong, what they might be able to try differently, and what they might do now that their economy is really, really struggling. They're getting into this cycle of saving and then buying and having to save again after losing their buy round. Meanwhile, UTD's economy is very, very strong. It doesn't look like they'll need a save round anytime soon, especially with BH Opper able to afford that operator and still have enough money for next round, and Voyager almost maxing out. Both of those players absolutely carrying UTD GG Go Next, and like I said, just completely different players. They're changing up their play style, they're hitting their shots now. Just incredibly impressive. Quite a turnaround for UTD GG Go Next after that last game.
Placing sentry.
Also, to address chat, this is a best of 3 series, so the first team to win 2 games does win the entire series. So if UTD GG Go Next wins this game, there will be a third game, but if South Alabama also wins this game, there will not be a third game. Looks like they're heading towards this B site execute. Chromie deciding to push all the way back into CT, and Sky holding from this more passive position in elbow. It looks like they're choosing to retake together as an entire team. This is probably something that they talked about during their timeout. They are getting picked quite quickly in their site holds, but would get an incredible looks like an even number situation after quite a few picks come out. Have Omen trying to hold that garden position with an op speed, not quite seeing Honkinator in the corner, and Honkinator able to get their, I believe, second, or 2 picks. Yes, 2 picks, and able to save the op for that Omen player. I think South Alabama is struggling a little bit. They're not able to hit or make their retakes work, and they're not able to hold site quite quickly. And if I had to account it towards a reason, I would put it towards those 2 players, Voyager and BH Opper. They've just completely changed up. I mean, BH Opper is going to be very, very hard to shut down with the operator in his hands. He's truly living up to his name. Looks like South Alabama is going for a 4 stack onto A. Incredible 3 picks and showers by Tyler. USA ran, making sure that no one gets through the showers, but they're not quite watching Bomb down, but he will send Skydog out to get any information of players that might be lurking there. Voyager able to get an incredible shot onto speed. Looks like he's trying to slowly push up to grab Bomb. South Alabama in a little bit of a sticky situation. 3v2, but one of their players is one shot. South Alabama knowing that there is in fact a player in showers, hopefully able to hear that he is rotating outwards. And Jet just holding a short with the bomb, praying that someone peeks him. That Skyflash not able to get any information, but Phoenix is still sneaking up. Hopefully he will recognize that a player is to his right. And he will kill Sky with his molly. Now in an even number situation, 2v2. Phoenix and Jet slowly working their way up to site, not noticing that there are 2 players in U-Haul.
Spike planted. 1 enemy remaining.
Mando able to get an incredible spray transfer on both players and close out South Alabama's first round. And I believe it was 4 rounds they lost in the row. Yes, they lost 4 rounds in a row. But South Alabama shutting down that momentum and saying, hey, we let loose a little bit, we relaxed, but we're taking things back. But UTD is convinced to gain that momentum back. Full buying again as they have a pretty comfy economy. South Alabama a little bit more nervous, or a little bit more shaky in their economy. Able to pick up an op on speed, but Mando having to choose that Spectre instead of a Phantom. 2 South Alabama players able to buy into the next round, and same situation for UTD. It's kind of, we're getting a little bit more even in a This looks like Speed is smoked off here from this hookah position, but will quickly gain vision again. And UTD's players are a little bit spread out here in a default, but it looks like their KJ player is moving back towards hookah. That Skyflash able to gain information that there are still players outside that belong. And Honkinator and Chaos just slowly sneaking up this hookah position. I think UTD is playing this pretty slowly, but able to get an unexpected pick on Rand. Speed able to get 2 picks with this operator before being traded out by Jet. Mando and Nerve will decide to slowly rotate, hopefully retake together, but Playmaker is holding him with an op, and that Sky ult will reveal Nerve's location. He's able to get an initial pick onto Honkinator, but will he be able to get the second pick onto Playmaker? And he will! USA Nerve with the 1v2 clutch for South Alabama. It's going to be a little bit detrimental to UTD GG's economy, but I'm unsure if South Alabama will be able to full buy either, so we should be getting some interesting loadouts coming through. So it does look like all of South Alabama's players will be able to buy a full buy, except for Lord Rand, who decides to go with a Judge, which he showed last game that he is more than capable of still getting picks with. But it looks like UTD will have... No, all their players will theoretically be able to buy, but Jet may decide to go ahead and use his ult this round. South Alabama needs to win this round or else they're going to be in a very, very difficult position for the last round of this half. Voyager able to get a great initial pick onto Mando, but Speed able to get Honkinator and that Phoenix ult down, as well as take out Chaos, but he gets flashed by the Voyager, taken out. Rand coming behind with that Judge, trying to make some space. And able to take out Voyager. Like I said, Lord Rand has proved time and time again that he can make that Judge work. Unsure if he sees this player. He does. But he goes for the trigger discipline and is able to get a player, but Playmaker just able to bring out those Jet Knives and prove why he locks him. That's another round for UTD GG. It's looking like we're 4-7 in favor of UTD GG Go Next, with Voyager 17-9 and BH Opper 12-7 and Playmaker 11-6. Those players just completely turning around from what we saw last game on Ascent. So maybe, just maybe, UTD is very, very strong on buying, and South Alabama needs to, you know, reassess their plan here, but it is the last round and a half. Looks like UTD is preferring this B site. Utility will come through on Hookah, but not quite get the damage that it should. Chaos able to get a pick onto Speed. Leaving Karomi and Lord Rand to try their best. Very little money to work with. Karomi able to get an incredible pick with a Sheriff onto 2 of UTD's players. But Voyager and BH Opper able to get those picks in trades for their teammates. Mando able to get an unsuspecting pick on one of the players. They now know one player is Garden. But Nerve will be caught out by Voyager. USA Mando now in a 1v1 against Voyager. Able to see his gun. But will he be able to get the pick? Having to reload his weapon here. And able to outsmart Voyager by going ahead and climbing on top of Tube while he's reloading and secure a 5-7 half in favor of UTD GG Go Next.
That was close.
Theoretically, with South Alabama's composition and their history of games, they do much, much stronger on their attacking halves. They have 2 initiators. They have one of the best duelists to have on Bind. They have speed on Raze. So I really expect to see kind of a turnaround, a little bit of a turning up the temperature for South Alabama as they try and show some explosive power in their side takes here against UTD. It looks like they're preferring to go this A side here, with Raze and KJ going traditionally to A short. Looks like Nerve is going from shower sides to short, while Mando and Rand try and take that showers. An incredible pick by Playmaker onto Mando. South Alabama now down their smokes player. Things will be halted significantly. Looks like UTD is strongly rotating towards this A site, but South Alabama has already made the decision to readjust and try and hit this B site. I'm unsure if they'll be able to expect this Phoenix player tucked into a corner. Able to hear that players are coming in from hookah and call it out to the rest of the team as they rotate towards this B site. Voyager getting picked off and Chaos also getting picked off by Speed, leaving only one player of UTD left to defend this this B site, but Rand closing this off. Nerves Fade Eye, putting out the players, and Speed able to clean them up from elbow towards CT. And that's the attacking round for South Alabama pistol in their favor. And it does look like they'll be buying up here, and UTD traditionally choosing to save to buy their Vandals and Phantoms in that third round. We're edging more towards that equivalent scoreline. If South Alabama is able to close out this round as expected with bonuses, or with buy round against eco round, they should be on an equal scoreline. So that Sky Dog be long pushing that Phoenix player back. Fade Eye able to catch the KJ back sight. An incredible Raze nade by Speed coming out, able to get significant damage onto UTD's KJ. South Alabama is now able to get onto site and plant the bomb. They're very aware of the player in elbow, and he tries to chase them down, and Kuromi and Speed and Rand will get respective picks. Nerve able to get their pick as well. Chaos able to get a pick on Nerve, but Speed able to trade him out quite quickly and secure the round for South Alabama. We're now at a 7-7. So pretty equal scoreline. Very, very good game here. UTD really showing a little bit more of a pushback compared to what we saw on Ascent. But it does look like they're a little bit struggling in economy as compared to what we'd like to see on the third round. Two of their players having to go half shields, and one of their players deciding to go with a Bucky instead of a Phantom or Vandal. But South Alabama going with typical economy, bonusing their third round to be able to buy guns against the next round, just trying to get some guns off of UTD's players. They will go for this B hit once again, but it looks like both Voyager and Chaos holding from this elbow position will be flashed off their hold. Very nice Viper Molly, pushing them off of elbow entirely, and South Alabama already planting the bomb within the first 30 seconds of the game. But Mando will die to Chaos's Molly on site, leaving a 4v5 situation for South Alabama. Retake starts. Nerve able to get a pick on Omen, but Playmaker able to trade out Nerve.
Last player standing.
Now in a 1v4 situation, Kuromi having a little bit of a hard time.
Swarm grenade out.
Chaos picking off Kuromi. South Alabama able to get 2 guns off of UTD in their bonus round, but still UTD able to close it out and carry 2 Vandals onto the next round, or 3 Vandals onto the next round, excuse me. South Alabama will decide to buy up here. I expect we'll see the same from UTD. At least we'll get those 3 Vandals that we saved from last round, but 2 players a little bit more of a sticky situation. It does look like Jet will decide to go with their knives here, and someone will buy BH Opper. So we have full buys coming out from both teams, pretty equal
Time
standings.
to work.
UTD's economy just slightly better than that of South Alabama. South Alabama needs to win this round to be able to carry some momentum and economy into the next couple of rounds. Looks like they're having a pretty strong hold in showers with 2 players playing
Found
for
one.
space. And
Okay.
Rand really able to sell this A push while South Alabama is preparing to push out of this hookah. Viper Wall and Orb will go up. Looks like Speed is getting ready to satchel into sight and throw his nade. And there we will see it. Phoenix able to get some damage from that elbow position.
Grenade out.
Mando has learned his lesson with that Viper Molly, or with that AJ Molly. Voyager able to get 3 picks on the South Alabama's players.
Flash. Careful now.
One enemy remaining.
The firefight ensues, leaving only 2 of UTD's players remaining, and they will get the defuse, leaving South Alabama's economy in shambles. They are most likely unable to buy for this next round and forced into a save, which might be a 7-10 situation in favor of UTD. GG go next. Looks like South Alabama will choose what's expected. They will go for a buy for next round, while UTD is pretty comfy in their economy. Each of their players has a full loadout, and it looks like 2 of their players are able to buy for the next round or be able to buy a teammate.
Out. Grenade. Fire in the hole.
Speed with that Raze ult, just narrowly missing anyone. Because of the Omen blind. Omen able to get 2 picks on the South Alabama players, but Karomi able to trade him out and go ahead and get that Vandal. Chaos with a very good KJ ult coming out to lock down that A site. Playmaker also in a good position to catch any players attempting it anyway. South Alabama needs to make this rotate quickly while there's only 1 player on that B site, but KJ utility is already back up and running. This Jet and Teleporter ready to catch players off guard, but South Alabama seems very aware of it. Only 45 seconds in the round. South Alabama needs to decide on whether they're hitting this B site or moving back towards that A site. Looks like KJ is under the impression that players may be coming A, but Karomi and
30 seconds left.
Nerve just patiently waiting.
One enemy remaining.
Voyager will be able to get the pick. One to Nerve and delay Karomi from pushing onto site. It does not look good in favor of South Alabama currently.
10 seconds left.
Chaos able to get that pick onto Karomi, and that will be another round for UTD. GG go next. And they are having a very, very good economy. Every single player able to get a full loadout or be able to be bought by a teammate. And it looks like South Alabama's save round was successful in terms of being able to buy for this round and get a couple guns off of UTD. But that impact is
Alarm bot.
not quite enough as they're still able to get full loadouts here. Again, another very, very important round for South Alabama. If they're not able to win this one, then they're an 11-7 on a save, almost ensuring UTD getting their match point. Looks like they'll be going for a B hit here.
Grenade.
We need to see that explosiveness coming out of South Alabama. You already have these players pushed all the way back into CT. Mando will push out his Viper ult, securing the site as much as he can. Bomb going down.
Spike planted.
Punkinator able to get that pick on the Rand, but Speed able to get 2 of his own, and Chaos quickly trading him out. Now in an even number situation, but South Alabama has a
should
Viper
run.
ult on their side. Mando able to get a pick onto Playmaker. Voyager able to get the pick onto Karomi and take down that lockdown. Chaos trying to sneak his way into this Viper ult. A Nerve watching his every move. Voyager stuck in a hard situation here. He has to get pick on the Viper and defuse. I don't think he'll be able to do it. And that is a clutch for Mando for South Alabama, now at 8-10. It was a very important round for South Alabama to win there. If they didn't win that, they would be in a very, very difficult situation and a potential match point for UTD. UTD's economy is a little behind now. Only 2 of the players, if they lose this round, only 2 of their players will be able to buy for the next round. But the same thing can be said about South Alabama, except 3 of their players. Nope, only 2 of their players would be able to buy for the next round. They lost a lot of guns in the... So South Alabama's kind of going for a half buy here, making sure that they have enough guns for a potential match point.
I've got your trail.
We do see South Alabama's Sky ult coming through, and that will give some great information for an incredible nade by Speed. Speed able to get that pick because of the Sky Dog pointing out that Omen in South Alabama now having that A site all to themselves, getting their respective picks. Speed with an incredible shot onto Voyager, leaving Chaos in this 1v5 scenario. Able to get the pick onto Speed now in a 1v4 all the time in the world as Bomb just went down. I feel like we'll be in a bit of a hard situation, but he does spot that one player is in hookah, but Mando and Nerve with a great combo of the Fade utility and the Viper Molly. In South Alabama, now having a very, very good economy, being able to buy into those next rounds, while UTD needs to reassess their situation a little bit. BH Opper not able to buy a full loadout this time. Same situation for Chaos, but it does look like they're generally preferring to buy for the next round. South Alabama looking towards this A site, trying to even out the score line for 10-10. Speed coming out with his Ray's ult, able to get a pick onto BH Opper, but I'm unsure if he saw the player lurking in A short. Rand able to get 2 picks, and Karomi getting a pick of his own, leaving UTD in a 2v5 situation.
Spike planted.
Phoenix going for this long flank, but Bomb's already down, so kind of all up to the Sky here in a 1v5 with nothing but a Bucky and a Dream. South Alabama players are really disciplined here, making sure to lock down the site, not really adventuring for picks at all. Alkinator deciding, you know what, never mind, I don't want to go this way anymore. Phoenix somehow able to sneak up the shower position and probably catch a couple players off guard. Able to get a pick onto Speed, but Mando's there to trade his teammate out quite quickly. UTD only able to get 1 gun off of South Alabama, but they will be able to full buy this round, and South Alabama sitting on a very, very comfy economy, which is a good change from what we've been seeing. South Alabama now pretty confident that they'll have money for the rest of the game, but UTD kind of seeing the opposite issue. What is interesting though is that we see Playmaker, UTD's Jet, going for an op here and holding on B site. Hopefully able to make a big enough impact to really shut it down. South Alabama looks like it's going more for default, but they will send their Viper wall onto A site. Looks like South Alabama is trying to draw rotations from players on B site to transfer towards this A site instead, and it will work as Omen gives up that B site, but Honkinator sitting in hookah here with the judge, getting a little greedy, able to hear those players' footsteps walking up. If he doesn't get shut down quickly, he'll get that pick onto Mando, but Speed's able to trade him out quite quickly, leaving only Jet on this B site to defend.
Spike down.
Speed able to get the pick on the op quite quickly. He sees someone's behind him. He misses his nade. BH Opera able to get the pick. Karomi showing what he's made of. Unaware of Voyager still in hookah behind him, so that'll be a 10-11 scoreline in favor of UTD GG Go Next. Very, very close game we're seeing on Bind here, but South Alabama definitely stronger in their attacking half than that of their defending half, but they really have to close it out quite quickly here, or else they're going to see a match point against, or in favor of UTD GG Go Next. I mean, Voyager is absolutely crushing it. Very, very different player than what we saw before. He's going 30 and 15, double positive against South Alabama's roster.
Bomb buddy out.
Come on, let's go!
Looks like we're getting a Phoenix ult coming out of Voyager. You will notice that there is a player in that position and able to get the pick onto Speed. Looks like South Alabama's going for more of a safer default play here. Not much really happening as both teams are really waiting for one another to peek and try and get a pick off of one another, but South Alabama is really in the position of forced peeking. They have to get on site here at some point. Machinator showing what his judge is made of. Voyager coming through TP and able to get a pick on Rand, but Mando closing it out, and now UTD in a 3v2 situation in their favor. Both of these players looking towards this hookah position, but after throwing the I, they're running back towards A with perfect timing as KJ's running towards this B site, so they should theoretically get A for free.
10 seconds left.
Oop. KJ's able to pick it out. Only a couple seconds left in the round. No one on B side. They can put 2 and 2 together. Viper will get that ult coming out. Fade putting their ult out as well. It's a very, very close round. South Alabama really trying to avoid getting match pointed. But it does not look like it'll go well as Mando got caught in the KJ ult. Very close round and very good effort by South Alabama, but UTD GG Go Next and that incredible KJ ult will close it out and secure match point for them. One more round by UTD GG and they win the second game in the series. South Alabama needs at least 2 wins to secure overtime for them. Again, Voyager still going double positive with over 30 kills. I do not believe that South Alabama has lost a game in their season yet, so they've got some high stakes trying to win at least 2 rounds in a row. Jet in a pretty spicy position here if he's not checked properly. Looks like Mando will see him up there though. Speed able to get the pick onto BH Hopper. Now in a 5v3 situation in favor of South Alabama, but they will not check Chaos in this corner and he will get a respective pick to 2 of the players, but USA Rand able to make sure that it's at least a 3v1 in favor of South Alabama. But Phoenix is doing his usual strategy of sneaking up through this Showers position from a long flank. Bomb is down. Does not look like Tyler is focusing too heavily on this possible Showers push. Might be caught out. But again, Rand is known for his flicks and able to get the headshot onto Voyager. Now an 11-12 game. One more round for South Alabama, and we're moving into overtime, but one more round for UTD. GG to go next, and it's a W for them. Very, very close game, and you can tell that both teams are a little bit on edge. They're playing a little bit slower. They're playing more carefully. We don't see as many explosive pushes or retakes because they really want to make sure that they have numbers advantage. We do have a KJ ult for South Alabama, and it looks like we had a Sky ult for UTD. And there we'll see that Sky ult coming out for UTD. South Alabama going ahead and executing onto this B side, but not all players, but for the players of UTD, ready and prepared for this retake. Chaos's nades almost taking out Kuromi, but not quite, sitting at 6 HP with both mollies on bomb. Like a numbers advantage for UTD. Now South Alabama in a 3v2 situation, but Tyler able to even it out. For Kuromi now, 6 HP in a dream, but these players know his location. And it does look like that will be game for UTD. GG go next. And so win the second game in this series. And we will be moving on to game 3.
Defenders win.
Very, very good game. Very close game, especially at that end there. But it will go in favor of UTD. GG go next. And we will see you back shortly for our third game of the series.
Look at the monsters we've become. 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 Look at the monsters we've become.
Welcome back. And now we're in our third game of the series on Icebox. Looks like we typically see a little bit more of a common pick on Icebox being the Viper controller, but it does look like UTD is hovering that Omen again, which they've played for the past two maps. But if we look at South Alabama, we already have our picks coming through. We have that double initiator pick with a KO and a Sova. We have a controller, Viper, as we see normally on Icebox. But oh, wait. Whoa, 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 whoa. Are my eyes deceiving me? Or do we have no duelist for South Alabama? We have 3 initiators. USA Speed on Chamber and Mando on Controller. If we look over towards UTD, we see Playmaker on Jet, we see Voyager back on that Reyna, BH Opper and Chaos both on their picks from last game as Omen and KJ respectively, but Honkinator now on Breach. Breach is a little bit of a unique initiator on Icebox. I haven't seen much Breach on Icebox if I'm being completely honest with you. Looks like South Alabama is looking to hit this B site first round. Looks like UTD will be stacking this A site with no players in mid. But they will have a KJ and a Jet on this B site ready to fight this long position. Mando waiting very patiently to throw his Viper Wall. Incredible Sova Dart, able to push back that KJ player. Speed able to get the final pick in that Fade Eye, able to spot out that Jet player, really showing why that triple initiator is important. Speed able to get a pick onto a Jet, and now UTD in a 3v5 situation within the first, I believe, 30 seconds of the match. South Alabama already in position to defend this bomb. Honkinator getting sprayed through smoke. Voyager's crosshair placement, absolutely ready to nail these South Alabama players. Decided, you know what, maybe we don't peek this Reyna anymore.
Last player standing. You're done.
Reyna now has no opportunity to defuse the bomb in time, but does know to go down with the ship. Only Rand will survive, looking towards the sky. The first pistol round will go in favor of South Alabama. And, you know, I have my reservations about Triple Initiator, but if you can make it work in a team setting, it can be absolutely devastating. Initiators are both able to essentially do the job of duelists with creating those spaces with those flashes and your Fade dog, but also at the same time gather information and spot out those players every single position you possibly can. It does look like South Alabama is going towards this mid push. Project able to get that initial pick onto Playmaker Speed, also able to get a pick onto the Voyager player. Now in a 3v5 situation in favor of South Alabama. Rand getting 2 incredible picks from the back of the kitchen. Opper trying to close Rand out, but Rand says, I'm getting a 3K this round, and South Alabama will only lose 1 player on their buy-up round. Project flirted with the idea of buying up here, but decided to play it safe and go with the rest of his team and bonusing these guns to the next round and being sure that they have the economy to buy the next round, while UTD is going ahead and upgrading to those Vandals with Honkinator on his staple shotgun. Looks like South Alabama is flirting with this A site. We do have 2 players holding it. We do see that Omen is holding mid now with Reyna towards this kitchen position. Playmaker will be able to spot out that some players are trying to push towards A. Omen will rotate. He has 3 players on this A side now. Mando about to make contact with Voyager. Voyager able to get a pick onto Mando. South Alabama now in a numbers disadvantage. And with 3, almost to be 4 players holding this A site. Speed getting a great pick onto Playmaker. Project able to quickly shut down Honkinator. H Opper able to get a pick onto Rand and Speed.
1 enemy remaining.
Chaos able to get a pick onto Nerve. Leaving only Project to close this round out. Able to get a pick onto BH Opper. Not able to kill out Chaos, as Chaos is able to get the pick, but South Alabama will get 3 of UTD's players' guns off the field and be able to buy up completely this round. This is a very important round for South Alabama to win. They're just now getting all of their guns out. It does look like Speed is going to try and grab this ult orb and use his Tour. I think it's Tour de Force. I don't know. His chamber op. Again, these amazing Sova Dart coming out, Fade Eye to clear out yellow. A little bit of a buggy KJ bot there, but South Alabama essentially gets this B site for free, but the Viper wall is going down, kind of taking back away some of the space that they just gained. Looks like all 4 of UTD's players are trying to deny this plant. Mando getting a good pick on the playmaker. Now UTD in a 2v5 situation, now a 1v5 situation. Speed is able to make use of that chamber op. Mando just narrowly missing the pick onto Chaos, but Speed is holding us back with an up, able to secure the round for South Alabama, and they only lose 1 gun in the process. And honestly, it was a great economy choice for Speed to go ahead and decide to, you know what, I'm gonna save my money, I'm gonna use my ult, and he's able to buy his teammate. South Alabama's economy looking very, very strong, but UTD is a little bit weaker here. They're deciding to buy as much as they can, but that's a mix of Spectres and Vandals, with only 1 player having enough economy to buy into the next round if they do lose this one. Looks like Voyager with that Reyna ult coming out, but Silverdart will pick him out and Project able to trade out his controller player. South Alabama still looking to commit towards this A site, but it seems like UTD's players are rotating. Playmakers lurking up that A position, catching Speed off guard. South Alabama kind of stuck here. They're down in numbers despite having the better guns. Kind of sandwiched here by this Jet player lurking as well. Hopefully they're aware enough of the flanks situation to catch him off guard before he catches them off guard. 40 seconds left in the round. Not much has been done. An incredible corner clear by Project, able to get Playmaker. They now know that South Alabama is looking back towards this A site. But they have to move fast. If they don't move fast enough, they won't get that bomb down in time. Project able to catch Honkaneer trying to rotate through this mid position. Does look like Chaos is going to KJ ult and scream. They have to get bombed down and get off site quickly, or else that'll be a round for UTD. And it does look like they'll be able to successfully do so. However, 2 players are going to be stuck.
1 enemy remaining.
Project on for his ace. But Rand wants to secure the round regardless, and we respect it. I think I'm going to start calling Rand the professional ace stealer. I think that's the 3rd or 4th ace he's stolen in his career, but hey, I'm not going to hold it against him because he is securing that round for South Alabama, and they need that. This is the last game in the series. If they lose any momentum in this Icebox game, they could potentially lose the entire series because of it. Does look like Project is doing quite well, though, with an 8-2-3 score. Most of South Alabama's players going positive. Does look like we'll see the Jet ult coming out of Playmaker. I don't know if South Alabama is expecting this player to be in top of site, and he's able to get 2 South Alabama's players who just weren't quite ready.
Enemy tag.
Got a very, very hard site take coming in now.
Defeated.
Now in an equal number situation, a 2v2. When Omen's alone in screens, with Breach trying to make his way towards mid to join his teammate. Rand able to get a little bit of damage off onto BH Opera here.
One enemy remaining.
And close out the kill. Rand and Nerve will double swing the Honkinator and secure the 5th round in South Alabama's favor. It does look like we have quite the few ults for South Alabama to play with. They have Silva ult, they have their Fade ult, and they have a Viper ult, with a UTD having an Omen ult and that Breach ult. That Breach ult can be incredibly dangerous for retakes, especially if South Alabama commits to this A site and decides to play on site. That Breach ult can completely disrupt their site hold entirely. It does look like South Alabama is going for more of a default play here. They will throw that Viper Wall B, which will pull more of UTD's players towards that position. The Sova Dart lacking just a little bit, not able to see this player in this corner. He will pick off Mando. Rand able to reposition quickly enough to not join him. Rand does see the Omen ult, but not able to pick him off in time, leaving South Alabama in a 3v5 situation in favor of UTD. 2 of the players now coming behind South Alabama as they try and corner this KJ down. KJ Molly's will pop. Speed able to get to the pick on KJ, and bomb will go down. Reyna is holding from this aggressive position in stairwell, most likely able to get at least 1 pick. We do see the Fade ult coming out, but BH Opper and Voyager able to close the round in favor of UTD. GG go next, and South Alabama will lose their Fade ult. It does appear that UTD is only 1 point away from that KJ ult coming back. South Alabama still has that Viper ult and that Sova ult to play with. Hopefully we see those come out this round to secure an easy round for them, to make sure that UTD doesn't build up their economy anymore. We do see South Alabama in a little bit of a comfortable position, enough to buy for next and be able to buy for their teammates if they do lose this next round. But UTD is in a much better economical position. They have enough money not only to buy a teammate this round, but also to buy next round. So it does look like we'll be on Vandals and Phantoms quite a little bit. I do see UTD varying their positioning a lot more this Icebox game than we saw in their Ascent game. They tended to play the same angles, and South Alabama learned to be able to kind of predict where they were aiming towards. Now in this game we see Breach really changing and playing completely differently. South Alabama now making some noise towards that A site. The UTD players will be able to read that and start rotating. And South Alabama's already coming out with that Viper ult onto site. But we will see our defending side KJ ult coming out. Nerve able to pick off the Omen. Tyler not noticing the Viper coming from behind. And a very, very low in his Viper ult. Project able to take out Voyager, but Chaos able to trade out Project, and that'll be another round for UTD. GG go next. Got a little excited there. See UTD's economy being very, very strong here. Reyna most likely to pop his ult. We're still holding on to that Breach ult, as it looked like we seem to have a little bit of a team meeting in spawn there. South Alabama having all their ults pretty much stripped away during that round with the exclusion of Project's ult, but it does look like they're leaning towards this B site. Project's ult would be incredibly useful to combat that breach, kind of util dumping on this B long position. I do expect that we'll hear that Reyna ult coming out pretty soon. And there it is. Very aggressively holding this yellow position, but waiting patiently for players to push out of it first. He will get the pick onto Nerve and Speed, but Rand able to close that out. BH Opper living true to his name, holding with an op. Rand able to pick out Honkinator. South Alabama in a 2v5 situation.
Last player standing. Spike down B.
3 gone. Revealing area. I have the spike.
Tyler being very, very smart here, deciding to
One enemy remaining.
Now 4.
go for this A plant. Now he's on for the ace. All he has left to do is take out their final jet player. And the ace stealer
30
transitions
seconds
to the ace
left.
getter.
Spike planted.
It does seem that he will be going towards to play for this post-plant position as opposed to holding aggressively. Playmaker very, very conscious that Sova can be absolutely anywhere at this point. Sovadar will come out and be able to pick up the position of the jet player. And the ace comes out for USA Rand! Absolutely incredible. Hey, he wasn't immortal for nothing, that's what I'm telling. I mean, he's 13-3-5 as Sova. I remember when I played with Rand, he was more of a Sova main, and he is absolutely showing why now. I mean, these starts are absolutely incredible. He's hitting his shots, and he's able to clutch those vital rounds for South Alabama. Huge, huge shout out for Rand for carrying the team on his back this game.
Scanning ahead.
It does look like South Alabama is going to prefer to take this A site. That KO dagger able to shut down both players on site. Chaos is able to spray and get both Mando and Speed taken down though. South Alabama now in a numbers disadvantage as 4 of UTD's players are ready for this retake onto A site. South Alabama really needs to rotate quite quickly before they begin to default, which we see Reyna and Omen returning to their original positions and breach as well. It seems like UTD is communicating quite well and learning that, you know, they have these very reactive retakes where players will rotate quite quickly upon an initial site push, but they are now starting to default back into their normal defensive positions. As South Alabama has this very, very slow rotate, expecting the B site to be relatively clear, but Breach is sitting behind this yellow with Omen and Snowman.
30 seconds.
Press will point out the Breach player, but I'm not sure they'll be able to fight against this judge. Rand taken out by the judge quite quickly as Nerve is able to get the pick on the man Snowman.
One enemy
Honkinator able to get a pick onto Project as well as Voyager gets the pick on Nerve and closes out the round. We did invest Project's ult into this, but again, we have a Fade ult and a Sova ult to work with. But UTD GG Go Next does have that KJ ult, which has been really, really round changing for them. And they are still holding on to this Breach ult. Alabama is losing their momentum quite a bit. They need to start to shape up as UTD GG Go Next seem to really adjust towards how their attacking style plays. Able to hear that someone is on that ult point and get a quick pick onto South Alabama. Player BH Opper able to get a pick onto Rand, but Project able to trade him out quite quickly. Honkinator just trying to util dump as Voyager is able to finally take down Mando. Has been
Last player standing.
Nerve able to trade out his teammate quite quickly, but he is sandwiched nonetheless. South Alabama able to get 2 guns off of
Last round
UTD
in
go
the
next
half.
in their save round to be able to buy full in the last round and a half. South Alabama is really looking for a 7-5 scoreline in their favor here, but UTG go next has the opportunity to even it out. Excuse me if you can hear my cat meowing very insistently, but he is just as into the game as I am. It does look like we still have that KJ ult, that Breach ult, and that Omen ult for UTGG go next, and we now have our tour de force for South Alabama, which does come out quite quickly, and we should see our Fade ult and our Sova ult come out, except for the fact that VH Opper very, very quickly shuts down Nerve. USA Rand able to get the pick onto BH Opper, and Speed able to get a pick onto Chaos. Now in a favor of South Alabama in terms of numbers. The Voyager can change that quite quickly if he's able to get the picks that he should, and he is in a 3v3 now. Voyager looking for the picks where he can, but Speed shutting him down quite quickly. Rand able to get the pick on the playmaker. We finally see that Breach ult coming out. He will util dump on poor Rand here. But Speed showing why he is the Opera of South Alabama, getting his 3rd pick with his Chamber ult.
Switching sides.
So we do get that 5-7 scoreline in favor of South Alabama here, but now we have to see how this triple initiator composition does on the defense side of things. We know that theoretically it should be very strong for South Alabama to be able to initiate onto these sites, which are historically very hard to do on Icebox. Many people argue that it is a very strongly defense-sided map, but we do have these long rotations to play with, these very long flanks. Looks like UTD is leaning towards this A site where we have USA Nerve and USA Project holding. Able to spot out a lot of information, and we have all 3 initiators trying to hold back this push onto A site.
Bring them down.
Nerve absolutely blinded. Rand and Project able to get respective picks quite quickly.
Player standing.
Voyager able to get 2 picks, however, almost turning around for UTD, but USA Project and USA Mando are right there behind their teammates to secure their pistol round in favor of South Alabama. It's very, very interesting first round. We will see what we expect. We will see South Alabama buying up after they won their pistol round, and UTD deciding to go ahead and save their economy as much as possible into the next round. We do get half shields coming out for a couple players. Chaos will force up a Spectre and then sell it promptly, as he should. I do wonder if Speed will be able to get his respective picks with this Marshall. It might be a little bit difficult. Retake. USA Nerve getting a quick pick onto Voyager, trying to lurk up onto that A site. And USA Speed proving me wrong, able to get his pick with a Marshall. Warren Rand being a little sneaky here, trying to push these players. We're not expecting him to be quite as aggressive, and Mando will sneak up that B long position to take down the last player of UTD and secure their buy round. So again, we see UTD's typical approach to their 3rd round, which is all players having full shields except for a couple, and then Hawkinator again with his token shotgun.
Scanning ahead.
I'll find you.
Playmaker able to spot out Nerve and quickly get his entry pick. Project and USA Rand get picks as well, actually putting South Alabama in a numbers advantage. Mando able to get a trade for Rand with a Viper Molly, leaving Chaos stuck way back in A main with bomb down on site in a 3v1 situation. With Speed coming up behind him quite quickly, he's able to get the pick on Speed. But will he be able to get the pick on both Project and Mando sitting on site? Very, very good Viper wall here, just completely cutting off all access to the peaks onto site here. Mando will be able to spot out where this player is. Project ready to throw his splash when necessary.
Careful. 30 seconds left. One enemy remaining.
Chaos able to get the pick into a Mando. Project now in a 1v1 situation against Chaos. Only 14 seconds left to get bomb down. You cannot hear this player shifting up. Both players have no idea where one another is. I do not think they have time to get bombed down, however, and that will be a round in favor of South Alabama. Very well played there. Although Mando had every right to try and take that peek, not only did he need the information of whether or not that player got the bomb, but he also was trying his best to play cross, just got peeked at an unfortunate angle. Project played that correctly by playing time as much as he could. He knew that Chaos had to get that bomb down, and he didn't have much time left to do it. And instead of taking the fight when he didn't need to, he just walked away, and it won South Alabama the round. It does look like Speed will be holding this B site with an op here, but UTD is nonetheless discouraged from pushing this site. Speed able to get the initial pick onto Voyager and then back up towards the snowman position as Rand and Mando are on site ready for this push. Rand able to get some beautiful flicks onto players and able to get his third on as well onto Honkinator and secure the round for South Alabama. Absolutely incredible aim by Rand this game. He's going 23-8. He also has his ult up now to play with to delay that bomb plan as much as possible. South Alabama not losing a round on their defense side so far. Speed still having that op he's famous for. It does look like we have a Reyna ult and a Jet ult for UTD to play with, so most likely we'll at least be seeing the Jet ult come out as they're saving the best they can. USA Rand getting some incredible damage as well as a pick onto Omen using his Sova ult. Voyager able to get a good pick onto Nerve. Beautiful flick by Speed onto Jet, trying to make some space through Kitchen, leaving only Voyager and Breach left to try and delay South Alabama getting that match point. It's well known that a Reyna in ult is a very, very scary thing. But will it be enough to win the round for UTD? And it will not, because you have Speed with his op just absolutely shredding through UTD's player. And now we are in match point for South Alabama. One more round and they take the series. But, I mean, you never know. UTD just may not drop a round from this half. Maybe they were just playing around. Does look like we will see generally full buys coming out for both teams. The only exclusion is UTD's Reyna having half shields, but that is viable with the overheal that she does possess as long as she gets a pick. Mando has some very, very crazy Viper ults, especially on this A side. UTD immediately acknowledges that and dips out towards this mid position to start rotating towards the B side, but little do they know, USA
down,
Speed
mid.
is sitting here with the op ready to go. USA is able to get the pick of the Voyager, and now South Alabama in a 5v2 situation in their favor for match point. We do see Breach ult coming through. BH Opera is able to get a pick on the Rand, but Nerve able to close the game out in a 2-1 victory for South Alabama in this series. Absolutely incredible games today. Incredible players that we watched. And very, very close. It was a very, very invigorating game. It could have gone any way at all points of the game. Absolutely invigorating, and I hope everyone watching enjoyed it as much as I did. We will be back shortly with a player interview, so stick around with us. And once again, to everyone, good game.
Look at the monsters we've become. 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 Look at the monsters we've become.
welcome back to the stream. We have Davis here for our player interview. Davis is our captain, and if you know his gamer tag, I'm sure I've said it a million times. He is South Alabama's Jet, Rays, and Chamber, who is deadly with his op. How are you feeling, Davis, after that game?
Feeling good. I was excited about this matchup going into it. I had done my research. I watched a couple of VODs, and I knew that they might be the only team that would kind of give us a struggle.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, they beat us on what we considered to be our best map.
Mhm.
And I'm actually not upset about it. I think one of the things we struggle with after matches is having something adequate that we can go and VOD review.
Mhm.
And so them, they played a really good game on Bind, and I think that it's a really good opportunity to get to VOD review it and really see like what the mistakes were, where the flaws are, where the kinks in the armor are.
Mhm.
But overall, I'm extremely happy with how we played on Ascent to start the season. It was on the back burner. Our
Mhm.
Ascent game was one that we were not looking forward to, but we've been putting in a lot of work, and I'm very, very confident in our Ascent takes. So very,
And
very
I mean,
pleased.
it shows your strats really, really are effective as we've seen throughout the season, and you guys are really able to readjust yourselves to your opponents quite quickly. And that's something that I've
Yeah.
noticed is your team. You can tell that you guys are communicating. You can tell that you're checking up with one another, and that you're playing things safe. You're playing to win the game, and that's very admirable as a
Yeah.
team, especially. I did want to ask you something about the team, something that I almost missed initially when casting it is on that Icebox game. We had no duelists. We had
Yep.
3 initiators. Can you
Yep.
explain to me what kind of motivated that decision?
So the way that Icebox works, it, it's extremely difficult for a duelist to go and do their job. I mean, you look at it from a jet perspective, you can't dash out onto site until you
Mhm.
fully expose yourself and work up to 410 right over there on Maze. And then even when you do dash on, your team's so close behind you that it really doesn't matter. And the
Yeah.
same goes for B site. It's just super hard, and if you're Rays and double satchel from belt or something like that, you end up way too far away from your team, cut off from everybody else. It's just really problematic. So we decided that we were really going to try and take advantage of Icebox specifically, and it being a no duelist map. When you look at all the VCT and the pro play, most of them don't run a duelist, and it's because they can double down or triple down on a initiator standpoint. So we decided to implement it, and we're very, very, I'm very, very proud of that Icebox. We don't really get to scrim it that much, but it's definitely oppressing. Especially on
I
attack.
It showed. It
Yeah,
really did show, especially whenever I was seeing
yeah,
you guys push that B. We do
yeah,
typically see that Silva dart to clear that long position, but I mean,
yeah,
following it up with that fade eye to clear out yellow, you guys were just up and at it immediately,
yeah,
pointing out where players were trying to push you guys. It was very impressive. I had my reservations because honestly, I've never seen a triple initiator on Icebox, but you guys pulled it off fantastically.
yeah,
And the coordination of your tactics and your strategies to make triple initiator work for you guys really, really showed to be very, very effective. I mean, I'm incredibly impressed by how well coordinated it was and how well you guys worked off the information that you got from those initiators. You never let
yeah,
a ping of a player go unpunished. You
yeah.
immediately chase down that player. I mean, absolutely incredible. And we have to talk about the initiator of the game, Lord Rand. He was going
Yeah.
off on a scale of 1 to 10. How much was he yelling? I have to know.
10 the whole time. Yeah, it's Icebox for him, Sova Icebox, it's like his home. He is so comfortable on Icebox, and so when it comes into what we're doing round by round, we really kind of play it off how he feels. So if he says that he can get something done down B long, or like B main, generally we're gonna go with his gut and we're gonna set it to go B.
Yeah.
So
mean, hey, it worked. We went from
yeah,
a pretty demonstrative game on Ascent. You guys really showed your colors, and even though you say it's one of your weaker maps, you really, really showed how well
yeah,
of a space creator you are on Jet, and how well that your team was able to play off of that. And then we moved on to Bind, which was a closer game, but still incredibly well played by your team. And then on to Icebox, where it became a cleanup. It seemed like you guys kind of snapped in shape and was like, nope, we're taking this series home as usual.
yeah. You know, we were pissed. Uh, we were
Rightfully
pissed.
so.
We definitely had a fire lit under us, and we weren't going to let anything slide. So but in regards to Ascent, it's a map that we haven't scrimmed much, and it really just goes to show how amazingly our guys like Project have come. When we first got him, it seemed like he was all aim, no brain, and he has worked so hard. And he's also a quieter guy, and now it feels like we can't get him to shut up, and I love it. It's amazing, and he has come leaps and bounds. So especially his icebox, he's not that confident on KO, and he came out that second map or that third map and performed, and I could not be more proud of Bryson. His improvement has gone through the roof.
Yeah, I mean, all of your players are just
Yeah,
absolutely
Nerve as well.
astounding. Yeah, Nerve and Project really, really showing.
Yeah,
They're kind of not the only newcomers to the scene, but they're definitely demonstrating that they were made for this and they're here
yeah,
for it and they're willing to improve. And I love seeing it. I love seeing how each of the players on your team improves from game to game, even if you guys have a game where it's a 13-0 or something like that. The next game
yeah,
there's still an improvement that is made. And I
yeah.
want to give a shout out to Karomi. I don't say their name a
We
lot,
love
but
Dylan.
Dylan is really, really killing it and playing that
Yeah,
sentinel role in its
yeah,
full capacity and showing why he is on the main roster to stay. He is
yep,
absolutely locking it down. And just, I mean, a huge shout out to each of your players for their improvement and their commitment.
yeah.
And did you have any final remarks that you wanted to say about the games today?
Yeah. I guess I'll end it with I know that there was some talk early on that we were not gonna let Pearl slide. Um, I'm just saying my rule was we were not going to even practice another map until we mastered two and got comfortable on another one. So we have officially done that. We've mastered Icebox. Even though we lost Bind, they played, like I said, they played a really good game. But we do feel like we're at that level on Bind, and then we are solid with Ascent, and so we're gonna start leaving Pearl out for the talk, and we're gonna see what we can do with it.
Interesting.
So Pearl, maybe some Haven will be thrown in later. So, but we're now open to a wide range of maps that we are just constantly getting better on and getting confident in.
Well, I'm excited to see those. And I
Yeah.
wanted to say good games to, all the players that you had come out today, and they did absolutely
Yeah.
fantastically as expected. And
Yeah.
also GG to
GG's.
UTD, GG Go Next. They
Yeah.
played an incredible game. They really, really put up a fight
Yeah.
and they were good sports. And we just wanted to say good game and thank you to every player that showed out today and committed their time to play for the NECC. So GG's to all, and I'll let you get back to your pupper.
Thank you. He needs attention.
Well, GG's, and that's all from me. So I hope everyone has a fantastic day.